Hi, and welcome to this. I'm doing this podcast or this video tonight because it's the second week when we've heard about COVID. And Ireland has, as of last night, shut down schools, education facilities, etc. Churches. People are shutting down, and it's scary. I have been frightened this week. I've been fearful. I've been changing my behaviour as a result of this happening. And there is a fear out there. But sometimes I have my fear and sometimes you have your fear. And that's the thing, is that we have to realise that actually we're in this together. The whole world is feeling this way. We're fearful. So tonight I have a few things I want to talk about as I cough. And as I have a cough, I'll explain. I have asthma. And I take my inhalers at the moment twice a day just to keep everything. I'm going by my prescription. I sometimes alter it. So what I'm saying is what to do is that we're going to have a cough. But from what I've been reading, I'm not an expert, but my latest understanding from medical officer in the north is that it is a continuous cough and a high temperature. But look at the guidelines. If you go onto my website, look up Evolution Counselling, I put a list of all the various sources. But it's really important that you trust the official. So watch the news. I don't watch the news, but I think it's really important that we're kept updated on what's happening. And I'm restricting myself as much as possible because we know that at the moment there's a lot of people out there who are actually don't know they have COVID-19. And until we know everyone that has it and has been tested, we're at risk, every single one of us. So the things that we can do is, we've talked a lot about social isolation, and they're talking about 6 feet of a difference between you and someone else. And that's important because when a person sneezes or coughs, it spreads, okay? And so the important thing to do is to make sure that you're away from that. So that's where hand washing comes in so importantly. And it's about washing your hands properly. I'm not going to go into it because there's plenty of videos talking about that. It is really important to wash your hands properly, dry them, and to keep your hands moisturized. Like, I'm thinking back to when I was a student nurse, and at that time, 20 odd years ago, I had really bad eczema. My anxiety showed out in my skin. And so I was looking after a patient who was isolated. And we had to use a very strong soap. And this was affecting my hands. My hands were getting worse. So at that time, I spoke to an infection control nurse, and she recommended that I wash my hands thoroughly. But I used soap and water, tepid water and soap. And in the hospitals, they used the pumps. And I did that. And that was just as effective. So the way this virus spreads is if you cover your mouth and you're coughing, you're going to spread it. So going like that, as I said, there's plenty of information out there about it. So keeping the distance, as I said, is really important. I have a list. When you're washing your hands, you might say at the moment, I don't have any rings on at the moment. As a nurse, I didn't wear rings. Most nurses will just wear if they're married, wear a wedding band, a single band. But it's really important that you take your rings off, because if you're not, then the infection's getting in there. And if you can't get rings off, then even if you move it slightly, so you're moving it away, then you're getting your hands washed. And the other thing, this fear that is going around is totally normal. Like, fear is our most basic emotion. Okay, it's telling us there's something wrong. And there is. This virus is spreading around the world. So getting fearful is just a normal response that we all have. It's to keep us safe. And we need that. We need to do those things. So this is going way back to caveman days. It's how we've evolved and how we keep it ourselves safe. But how can you cope? Because it can get overwhelming. Like if you're like me, I'm very sensitive. I pick up on others' emotions. So what can you do to help yourself? Well, there's a number of things you can do. Listen to it. So positivity is something that comes in really, really handy. So listening to a favourite song that you like. I've talked about this before. Gratitude. My last video was about gratitude. Interacting with friends, checking out. How are you? That's where all of this comes in so handy, because we can communicate with each other. And those that are older, making sure that there's someone around to help them. And the other thing I talked about, I'm just scrolling things out. Our friends are really important in gratitude. Shopping. I have connections. I know somebody who's a lorry driver, and there is not an issue and it's been shown on the news. The warehouses are full of food. Okay, so there will always be food available, and you think, well, what if I get the virus? What if we go in lockdown? See, all this uncertainty that we're not good with. So what do we do when that fear is? We need to do something. That's what adrenaline's for. That's to help you move quicker. So our bodies are going, oh, we need to do something. Let's go and bulk buy lots of things. I know it's a natural reaction to what is going on. Adrenaline levels are going up. Well, what can we do? So we go and we get all this food in. But we don't need to do that. And in worst case scenario, it does happen. Like in Singapore, they're putting boxes together for people with food in them. So there is ways around everything. We all have friends, we all have family. There is organisations that deliver. All the big supermarkets deliver. But there's also smaller local companies that produce food as well. And if you want to know the information, you can send me a message and ask me. I'll share it with you. But it's about us all being together, where everyone in this world is in this together, okay? And yes, there's fear, but there's also a bit of crack. I don't know if you've seen in Italy, they're all shut down. They can't mix with each other, and yet they're having sing-songs. So there is always ways around everything. There is a way around it. But at this moment in time, the most important thing you can do is keep that distance. If you think, oh, what's a meter? And I'm not good with that sort of thing. So I'm like, yesterday I was shopping. So at least a trolley, if not 2 trolleys of the person in front of you, because the checkout's really full. And I was very aware. I heard someone sneeze and I thought, So I kept back as much as I could. Being in that environment for somebody, and it spreads, I think it's 15 minutes. So look up the advice, listen to the news, reliable. I find Twitter is really, really useful. LinkedIn as well, for getting official information. But practice the gratitude, connecting with your friends, doing things that you think, oh, I was going to do that. Like I have a few things that I put on the long finger that I thought, yeah, I'll get to eventually. So tonight I made pizza. A totally different way that I'd never done it before, because I felt I didn't have the time. We always have time to do things. We choose what we want to do, and there is availability online if you want to. If there is, you're thinking, I need to talk to a counsellor. Again, send me a message and I can put you in touch. And it's something that I'm in the process of doing as well, because I want to keep not just myself safe, but my clients. I have a responsibility to them. So mind yourself. And I've been a bit long-winded and I've talked about an awful lot of information. But here's the thing. At this moment in time, we can keep each other safe. We don't know who has the virus, who hasn't the virus. Okay? So just keep yourself safe and mind yourself and take it easy, okay? Do something joyful for yourself each day. Plan it out. And we will get through this. In 66, 67, they had a really bad snow and people couldn't get out for like 3 months. So we'll get there, okay? We will get through this and we'll get there. although it's scary. Okay, mind yourselves and take care. I'm Granny Clancy from Evolution Counselling.